In Lake City, Florida, on the night of October 24, 2020, a Columbia County Sheriff's deputy named David Harvey ran the tag on a vehicle in front of him. The reason he pulled that car over, a taillight was out. That's the entirety of the legal justification for what you are about to watch. What follows those first few seconds of dashcam footage would eventually produce a federal civil rights lawsuit, a 4-hour sworn deposition, and a public record that raises serious questions not just about what happened on that street, but about the system that allowed it to happen and the officer who walked away from it without a single consequence. Stay with this.
Careful, attention.
Get that tag number.
Hotel Zulu, Bravo, Victor 45. Bravo.
For 5429 for 2016 light house corridor to La Colombo and I'll let you forward details and make turn.
We're probably going to try to beat her. Stop.
What you're hearing right now is Harvey's voice without a public address system. His own department's written policy, using the word shall, meaning mandatory, required him to use the PA system mounted in his vehicle to give commands. The system was available, it was functional. He simply, by his own admission under oath 3 years later, didn't think about it.
Driver, stop! Stop right now!
You gonna shoot me?
Stop!
You gonna shoot me?
Put your hands out the window!
You gonna shoot me?
Put your hands out the window! Do not move!
You gonna shoot
Do
me?
you understand me?
Are you gonna shoot me?
Tell him to get a 35 unit.
Are you gonna shoot me?
1257 Columbia, send us to 35.
Are you gonna shoot me?
Keep your hands where I can see them.
See my hands, bro?
In the area of Garrison and 441, will you 51 to 1139 and 12 7, reference 1335.
Record this shit. Record this shit.
That question, are you going to shoot me? Bowman asked it 7 or 8 times. Harvey confirmed that number himself under oath. He also confirmed under oath that he chose not to answer it, not because he couldn't hear Bowman. He was 20 feet away in the dark and could hear everything. He chose not to answer because, he said, he couldn't make that promise. What Harvey never said, and what the record shows he never attempted, was simply, I'm not going to shoot you. It's a taillight. Let's talk.
Driver! Driver!
What's up?
Step out the vehicle slowly!
Bro, you not gonna shoot me?
Step out the vehicle slowly!
Bro, you not gonna shoot me, bro.
Step out of the vehicle slowly!
Listen to me, bro. Come here. Come get me, bro. Come get me, bro. You're not gonna shoot me, bro. Come get me.
Driver!
Come get me, bro.
I will release my dog if you do not step out of the vehicle. Keep hands on, I'm about to pull my dog.
Look. Big bro, this is my house, bro. You're not gonna shoot me, bro. This is my house right here, big bro. You're not gonna shoot me, bro. I'm not. Y'all got the red beans on me for what? What you got a gun on me for? Why do you got a gun pointed at me?
Send 35.
That's disrespectful, bro.
Careful.
Last warning!
Step out.
Sheriff's House Canine!
You want me to get out?
Sheriff's House Canine! You better stop!
Drago was released without a POC in command. That's the trained attack command. What Harvey yelled instead, 4 times in a row, was the word 9. In Drago's trained vocabulary, 9 means no. Harvey would later tell a federal court, under oath, that he didn't know the word was German. He didn't know it was his dog's stop command. He said, twice, that he didn't know why those were the words that came out.
Stay right there! Turn around! Face away from me now! I will release this dog if you do not!
Release the dog, bro.
Put your hands up! Turn around and face the other way! Now! Slowly! I said slowly! Back towards me! Do not face me! You better face the other way! Last warning! You better listen! Can I? No!
Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! Bro, why did you let the dog go?
Dog has been released. Dog is released.
Help me! Help me, bro! Get your dog,
Put your hands
bro!
behind your back!
Get your dog, bro! Get your dog, bro! Get your dog, bro! Please, bro! My leg! My leg! Help me!
The boy!
Help!
Put your
car.
Hey, give it up, bro. Get the dog, bro. Get the dog. I'm sorry, bro. Get the dog, bro.
I don't know what's going on. We just got the kids behind your back.
Get the dog, big bro. Get the dog, big bro. Get the dog.
The dog was not removed when Bowman went down. It was not removed when Bowman stopped resisting. It was not removed when Bowman began pleading. By Harvey's own testimony, the dog was not removed until the handcuffs were secured. Those are two different standards. One is about ending force when the threat ends. The other is about using force as a tool to complete an arrest. Harvey was clear about which one applied that night. No tourniquet was applied to Bowman's leg. When asked under oath whether he could see the bone, Harvey said, and this is a direct quote, "I don't know about that." Bowman was taken to the hospital under arrest. He refused to let the medical staff treat the wound. He was then released on a warrant and told to come back when he'd had it treated. The charges filed against him included fleeing and eluding, the legal foundation Harvey used to justify the entire escalation of that stop. A Columbia County jury later found Bowman not guilty on that charge. Harvey's response to that verdict will be one of the more remarkable things you hear in this deposition.
Get the dog, big bro. He's biting me, bro. He's biting me, bro.
We're at a residence down Gerson.
We
just got in the car.
Big bro.
Stand right over here, okay? Sit down. Keep your hands behind your back, okay?
2497.
139 from the 1070 rotation, or 1071.
What you are about to watch is the deposition of David Harvey, taken on April 14, 2023 in Lake City, Florida, as part of the active federal civil rights lawsuit filed by Martinez Bowman. A deposition is sworn testimony given under oath, recorded on video, with attorneys on both sides present. Every word is locked in permanently, and Harvey, to his credit or his detriment depending on how you look at it, answered almost every question asked of him, fully, calmly, without apparent concern. That calm is the first thing worth paying attention to.
Please state your full name for the record.
David Allen Harvey.
Are you employed?
Do I have a job?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Are you currently employed that you have a title? Like, are you employed with enforcement?
No.
Okay.
Well, I'm a reserve officer. I just went reserve with Jasper Police Department.
Okay. Is Mr. Harvey okay to refer to you today?
Yes, sir.
Okay. My name's John Phillips. It's good to meet you. My role today is to ask you fair questions that you understand.
Yes, sir.
And if I don't achieve my goal of asking you fair questions that you understand, I'm probably going to either draw an objection or get a confused answer. And I don't want either one of those. So if you don't understand my question, please stop me, ask me to rephrase. Otherwise, I'm going to assume that you did understand my question if you answered. Is that fair?
Yes, sir.
Yeses and nos are much better in a deposition. Now, we do have video to kind of see head cues, but yeses and nos are better than uh-huhs and uh-uhs. Us Southerners can rely on uh-huhs and uh-uhs a lot. So try to stick with the verbal instead of nonverbal or kind of our slang. Finally, if you want to take a break for any reason, let me know.
I'm dealing with kidney stones right now.
Okay, fair
and
enough. I've had people tell me that if you drink a lot of sweet tea, sometimes that's a big problem. But
and energy drinks.
right, okay, well, even worse. Let the record show Amy just freaked out. Okay, well, we'll get started. So where are you currently employed?
I drive a truck for TMX Intermodal.
And what is TMX Intermodal?
They haul containers out of Jacksonville Port.
Who is it or Drago?
Drago, the Canine that I handled.
And I understand Drago has passed away.
Yes.
My condolences. How did you have a dog, Canine, other than Drago at any point in your career?
No.
Okay. How did this come up with you? How did you decide, or they decide, or who decided that you working with a canine?
How did I decide?
Or how did it come about?
Positions opened up in where I come from. The agencies were so small. There wasn't any I would say, opportunity to move or do anything like canine handling or any of the other positions that I held. Where I came from, it's so small, there was none of that.
Okay.
Moving on to Columbia County Sheriff's Office, there was a range of, after a year and a half of me being on patrol, position came open for canine, and I wanted to do canine, so that's how it come about.
How is that broadcast? Is there like a bulletin that goes out, or is there an email, or how does position come up? How are you alerted of it?
Yeah, it's a whole agency.
Okay, so hey, was it a new position, or did somebody retire, if you recall?
Don't remember, actually. When I got here, there was only 2 canine positions, so I think they opened up to have 1 on each shift, so there was going to be 4 canine positions.
And I've seen photos of 4 canines. During your tenure, was there positions?
While I was a canine here?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is it still 4 as far as you know?
I don't have a clue.
Okay. Which came first, the position or Drago?
The position.
Okay. Were you involved with the acquisition of the specific canine, Drago?
Acquisition.
Do you know where Drago came from?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Where did Drago come from?
That's the kennel that he came from, was Pennsylvania.
Was Drago born in Germany?
Oh, I think Czechoslovakia.
Okay. Do you know how and I think I know the answer too, but as far as you're aware, Columbia County Sheriff's Office acquired it from the kennel in Pennsylvania.
Yes.
Okay. And the kennel in Pennsylvania acquired it from Europe.
Yes.
Okay. Do you know if the kennel in Pennsylvania had German Shepherds that weren't trained in Europe?
I have no idea about that.
Okay. How old was Drago when Columbia County, when you first were assigned Drago?
I think a year and a half.
Okay. Again, who taught Drago German?
Check to the form.
Pay attention to this next exchange. It seems like a straightforward question about dog training. It isn't. What Phillips is doing here is building the foundation for one of the most significant contradictions in the entire 4 hours. He needs Harvey to define the commands himself, in his own words, before Phillips can show the court what Harvey did with them on the night of the stop. Watch how Harvey answers with complete confidence. He knows these commands. He used them daily for 4 years. That confidence is exactly what Phillips needs.
How do we know Drago knows German?
Did Drago know German?
I don't know German.
Okay.
I don't.
The commands that Drago gave, what language, understood what language were?
I don't know what language they were. Those commands are what the trainer told or trained us. That's what you give the command. The dog don't know. It's more or less, I don't think the dog knows German.
Right.
The dog, it's just like calling. I don't know if you know anything about pets at all. After a certain period of saying a word over and over again, the dog learns that word, as in what that word is associated to.
Conditioned response.
So I don't think it's he knows German.
Certainly, but the dog was conditioned to respond to commands in German. Are you aware of that?
Object to the form.
If that is the commands that I give him, is that German? I don't know the German language. All I
Okay.
know is the commands that I'm given are told to tell the dog over and over again through 6 months of training.
Let me back up then. What were the totality? Tell me all of the commands that you were trained to give or use with Drago.
You had Pockin, which Pockin was a apprehend command. Foos, which was that makes the dog come back to you and walk. Just say I said Drago Foos, he would come to me, stand beside me, and walk with me if I walked or stood still.
It's like a heel?
Yes. I never used that. I never used that, but I know what you're talking about. 9, say the dog is distracted, messing with something over there. 9, to tell him no, don't mess with that.
Exactly, to go to no. Okay.
Plots. That was the dog. When you say plots, the dog will lay down on all fours. I believe that was all of them.
1, 2, 3, 4. I seem to recall you saying there were 6, and I'm
Well, I haven't been a canine handler in
fair enough.
in a year and a half. So I mean, these commands were on a daily routine. That's all I can remember. That
Okay. Was there a command for speak?
fucking speak.
Yeah.
No,
Okay, like telling a dog to speak. Was there a command for sit?
sit.
Okay. Did you pronounce it sit or did you pronounce it
Sit.
seats?
No, sit.
Okay. What were the names of the other 3 canines when you were there?
Rick was one. I think Jaeger was one. I can't remember what that other dog's name was. I can't remember what it was. Deputy Kirby's dog.
Were they trained? You'll agree that you had to explain to me, like with 9, that 9 meant no, right? So the word 9 was used instead of no.
Yes,
Why?
that's what the trainer told us. That was the word. That was the commands given from the trainer.
Okay. And are you aware that the word 9 is German for the word no?
I know it means no to the dog. I don't know that it's German.
He knows what the word does. He used it daily. He just didn't know it was German. Hold that. We're coming back to it.
Every day a week, you would have an activity or more than one activity scheduled to train the dog.
Wasn't really scheduled. It's when you had time to.
Okay.
And there might not be. You might have been busy that whole day and didn't get to. But I'd say 95% of the time there was. I personally done something that day to keep training moving.
Was it always in the search category, or was there other?
No, building, searching, narcotics. We have training narcotics at the sheriff's office that you would go check out. And say I would go to a dealership. Say if I was on night shift, there's nobody around, so I would go to a dealership and a couple of the cars. You would take the cotton swab, put it into the jar where that odor of the narcotic was. Take that cotton swab, and then you'll hide it on that car somewhere. And then I'd do probably a bank of 5 cars. 2 of them would have something on it. 3 of them wouldn't. So once you hid those things on the car, you would let it sit for, I think, 30 minutes. No odor of me around it for 30 minutes. That was gone. So, and then I would start on one car. It might be a hot car, which means it had the odor on it, or it might be a cold car, which didn't. Say if it had if it was a cold car, you take the dog around it, show him where to sniff. He'll sniff it all the way around the car. You go around it. If he smelt the odor, he would sit down and point at where he smells it at. But if there wasn't nothing on the car, he wouldn't alert to anything. So then you'd go to the second one. Mm-hmm. You go to the second one, go around it, and then if he hits the spot where that cotton swab or that narcotic was placed at, then he would sit down, and then you would reward him for that.
Here's a question: when doing narcotic, I think I know what the answer is going to be. When doing narcotic testing, do you use actual narcotics?
Yes.
Okay. Where do those come from?
DEA. You request them from DEA. DEA packages them for you, and they get sent to the sheriff's office, and they stay in a locked inventory locker until you check them out, sign them out, go use them. When you're done using them, you check them in, sign them back in, and that's it.
Use them for training.
Right, there's training narcotics.
Right, not use them recreationally. I assume they stay in some sort of sealed
Yes.
container. Okay, and then how do the cotton swabs work in?
What do you mean?
You talked about like using cotton swabs that have scent of drugs.
No,
Did I misunderstand that?
I would take, because if you take cotton swabs and say if you have let's just say you have a bag of marijuana here. The bags are sealed up, but you can stick a cotton swab in that bag that's there, seal it up, and over a period of time, it'll gain that smell of what was in that bag.
Okay.
So, and it's a fainter smell, so you're not only training the dog with the physical narcotic, you're training with an even fainter smell.
Right.
They're able to get the whiff of just the faint smell. So it's a more challenging training, I guess you could say.
In the location where these narcotics, marijuana, are stored, are they stored with a certain number of cotton swabs that you guys can then
No,
just-
you can't store the cotton swabs. Cotton swabs probably stayed with me. They're not, a cotton swab's not nothing that has to be under lock and key.
Right.
So you don't store anything in the where the narcotics are stored at. Only the narcotics are stored in the secured locker in evidence in the sheriff's office.
Okay. And then you would go, for instance, to do your daily training, you'd take a cotton swab and
Whatever I was going to
swipe.
train with that day, I could take that, cotton ball.
Yeah.
So,
Not a Q-tip, but a ball.
right, stick it in that bag and let it ride around and gain that odor onto the cotton ball.
Okay. What did you do on a regular basis to train related to suspect apprehension?
Just like the building search on a regular basis, there's scenarios with, say our once a week training, it consisted of scenarios such as building search apprehensions, traffic stop, suspect refusing apprehensions, suspect running apprehensions. These are all scenario bases that we trained on and the scenarios are what a police officer, law enforcement officer does every day. You're going to run into the same things not every day, but you're going to run into the same things often. So on our trainings, that's what you do scenarios on. So a building search, somebody broke into a home, they're hiding in a closet, that's something that you would run into in a real life situation. So that's what the dog is trained for, real life situations.
Okay.
To the dog, it's just a game. His reward is to be able to say on the building search, he goes through the house, this decoy's in a closet, he smells the decoy in there, he starts barking, lets me know, hey, come in here, this is where the suspect is. I come in there, I'll give that subject warnings to come out, subject don't come out, open the door, the warnings are the dog's gonna bite you if you don't come out. You'll open the door, the dog will go in and he's in a bite suit and the dog will grab a hold of the bite suit.
Okay. Was Martinez Bowman hiding from you or Drago when he was apprehended?
No.
Going to that type of scenario where you have somebody who's not hiding, that the point is to detain them by Canine, what training is done?
That's a whole different scenario. The scenario that I just gave you was, if you're referring to the Bowman thing, that was a whole different scenario. That scenario is a subject that we have trained on before, where we do a traffic stop. Subject, you have two different things that could happen there. Subject could not comply, could not when you give him the commands to do what you need him to do to gain control of the situation, he doesn't comply, and you have to resort to an apprehension with the dog. Or the subject could run from the traffic stop. After subject runs from the traffic stop and dog's released, the dog will apprehend the subject running from the traffic stop. We've trained on both scenarios.
Okay. Martinez Bowman didn't run from the traffic stop.
No.
And what I want to know, examples of similar training or how Drago would have been trained in a situation like Drago faced in Martinez Bowman.
Yes, the whole entire situation after a subject is not complying we've done scenarios where a subject doesn't comply with orders, and after you've given so many orders to comply, to merely just come back to the vehicle where you can be detained by handcuffs, and the subject not do it, that's when, after warnings are given and he still does not comply, then you'll release the dog for an apprehension so you can go and place the subject in handcuffs. Same scenarios have been, we've trained on the same thing before.
Okay.
Is that what you're asking?
What does that training look like? How does that training work for that particular type of apprehension? We've talked about guys hiding in closets and cotton balls related to drugs. What I want to know is, how is the situation analogous or similar to Martinez Bowman trained in the field?
Almost exactly how that situation occurred. So training with ASO, they use somebody's personal vehicle.
Alachua Sheriff's Office.
Yeah, they'll use a personal vehicle or bar, whatever. So it don't look like a police car. We'll be in a field. We get behind the vehicle. You turn your lights and sirens on to stop the vehicle. Vehicle does not stop. You'll continue on. The vehicle finally will stop. You get out. You conduct your stop, your felony stop. You give him commands. Subject's not complying with the commands. If after warning and the subject doesn't comply, so a lot of times the decoy will be real argumentative, wanting to, yelling at you, telling you, they use like F you. It's all a big decoy, I guess you could say that. I'm not really sure the words for that. But, and then after the subject doesn't comply, after so many warnings are given, then you'll release a dog to him. Now, he's in a bite suit.
Right.
So, and then when you release a dog to go after him, he'll apprehend the subject. Then you run up there, place the subject in cuffs, release the dog from the subject, and then your team comes and carries him off like he's going to a car to be placed in a car.
Okay. What do you mean by big decoy? You said
Decoy?
It's a big decoy.
What?
A big decoy? Is that what you said when you're referring to the person in the suit?
Just a decoy. I mean, there's no big, little.
Okay. And to get the dog to, and I want to use the right words, to get the dog to go over to, and let me use your words, dog's by your side. This referring to training, the dog's by your side. What is it called to send the dog over to apprehend somebody?
So the dog's not by my side. The dog is on a leash.
Okay.
Until you pull, or he might be on a short.
This next answer is the most consequential thing Harvey says in the entire deposition. He offers it voluntarily, he seems almost proud of it, and it directly contradicts the written policy he was trained on, which required him to maintain vocal control of the animal at all times. Listen carefully.
Traffic stop, lead. Most of the time, you don't have to even give the dog a command because he's done. When you first train the dog, you tell him pocking. After the dog's done this so much, you don't have to tell him anything. He already knows what's going on because when you let him go, he's going to go do what he's done before. He knows what we're doing. He knows there's fixing to be a bite here. So if the subject doesn't comply, he's going to go. So most of the time, you don't even have to tell the dog anything. You'll let him go, and then he'll do it. But to apprehend somebody, the started off training was you tell him pocking.
Okay. So when you pull Drago out, is it your testimony that Drago knows that this is a pocking without you having to tell him it's a pocking?
He knows that it's possibly, yeah. He knows that because that's what the training is about.
Right.
Because you're not just gonna bring a dog out and just, I'm not gonna let him go at any time because he might go over there and think that's what this is. But yeah, I mean, he's done the scenarios so many times that to a dog, it's a game. The dog don't know that this is we're taking somebody into jail or it's an apprehension. He thinks it's a decoy anyways because when we do the decoy scenarios, the person puts on regular clothes over the thing so it don't look like these suits are blue. So if the dog is trained on just that blue suit, the dog might think, well, all I do is go apprehend somebody with a blue suit on.
Right.
So that's why they wear the clothes over top of it, so it looks like a normal human being that we would be in a scenario with.
And I assume those suits have padding and material that is designed to be bite-proof.
Of course.
Okay. Whereas a civilian doesn't.
No.
Okay. So, okay. Then whether or not you say pocking, upon release, the dog is going to go do its apprehension.
He will.
Okay. How does that stop?
So if I send that dog, if that dog goes, I can holler at the dog and say, Drago, foos, and he'll turn a U-turn and come back and sit.
So Harvey has just described two things that cannot both be true at the same time. On one hand, he passed a certification that required him to demonstrate vocal control over Drago. including calling the dog back mid-stride. On the other, he just told the court that after 4 years, Drago didn't need a command to initiate an apprehension. He just knew. You let him go, and he went. That is not vocal control. That is a dog operating on its own read of the situation. Phillips knows this. He doesn't say it. He files it away and moves on. That's good lawyering.
And that's also to be certified through FDLE and through FLECA. That same thing, you have to, what's it called? You have to show that to those FDLE certifiers that the dog will. So what happens is a dog, I'll give you the scenario of what that testing is to be certified. To do that is a decoy will stand down from you. You'll send the dog to the decoy. The decoy waits for the dog to get there, and you have to be able to call that dog back in mid-stride. It shows the control of the dog. So if that dog goes down there, I would holler, Drago, foos, and he'll make a U-turn and come back and sit. Then you reset, which meaning we're fixing to do another, we'll do another run at it. Mm-hmm. And then during the testing, that second one, I'll send him, and then he'll make the apprehension on the subject. But to get certified, that dog has to return to you. You have to give that dog the foos command, and he returns back.
Going back to the Martinez-Bowman night, did Drago come back to you?
I didn't call him back.
Okay. Why not?
Because I let him go to apprehend Martinez-Bowman.
Do you recall whether you yelled Pockin?
No, I didn't yell Pockin.
And I said yelled. Let me rephrase that. Do you recall whether you said Pockin at any point?
No, I didn't.
Do you recall whether you said foos at any point?
No.
Do you recall whether you said 9?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Tell me about that.
We need to stop here for a moment because of what just happened. Harvey has now told the court, under oath, that when he released his dog, he yelled the word 9 4 times, and that his intention was to warn Bowman the dog was coming, like saying taser, taser, taser before deploying a taser. That was his analogy. But 9 is the word Harvey just spent several minutes explaining is his dog's trained command for no, stand down, stop what you're doing. He yelled his dog's stop command 4 times while releasing the dog. And when Phillips asks whether he knows how the word 9 is spelled, Harvey says no, he doesn't know. He said it twice in quick succession earlier, I don't know why, I don't know why. That's a man who has arrived at the edge of a story he can't fully explain. Whether that reflects genuine confusion or something else, only Harvey knows, but the words are in the record.
Tensions were so high, and during a situation like that, stress levels are high. I'd say you probably get tunnel vision. After I give Martinez-Bowman all the warnings of I'll release my, I said the last time when I went to send him, it was like saying, if you deploy a taser on somebody, you say, when I released the dog, it was K99999, as in K9's coming to you. It just, I don't know why that was running through my head at that time. It was stressful, and that's how I sent it. So, I mean, that's cut and dry. I don't know why. I don't know why.
And you're specifically taught not to repeat a command. You don't go Pockin, 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 right?
No, I'm not. You're not taught that. I wasn't taught that.
That you don't repeat?
No.
We'll come back to that. Here's a weird question. If you write out K9, how do you write it out? Spell how you write it.
K9?
Yeah, okay. But it also can be Canine, right? Canine.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know if Germans refer to dogs as canines?
I have no idea.
Okay. Did you have any military training or background, including reserve experience?
No.
Leading up to this incident, had you ever been arrested?
Yes.
For what?
DUI that was reduced to reckless driving.
Okay, so misdemeanor.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Ever gone by any other different names or social security numbers?
No.
Who was with you at the time?
The time of what?
The time of this incident. Was there anybody in your car?
What we're here for?
Yes.
Yes, Deputy Godey.
And who was Deputy Godey? What was Deputy Godey's role with the Columbia County Sheriff's Office?
She was in training.
Okay. How does that work?
The new hire will get 3 phases of field training from an officer. Or it's called. I'm a field training officer too. That was one of my other roles too. I forgot to say.
Sorry.
The new deputy gets 3 phases of training. I think it's been a while since I've been there, so I'm trying to explain what each phase is. I think the first phase is more of your radio skills, driving skills, map of the county, figuring out that you know your way around the county, your first contacts with people, handling calls. You're watching the FTO do the calls, and then you'll handle the next calls, stuff like that. Then you go into phase 2, and phase 2 is it starts out as traffic stops is the first part of phase 2. Then it goes to maybe report writing. I don't know what all's in there, but traffic stops is the first part of phase 2, and then phase 3 is a shadow phase where the deputy is driving 100% of the time and conducting all duties of a deputy, while the FTO just watches and makes sure that they're doing it right.
What phase was she in on that evening?
2.
What was your role at that point or up to that point in her training?
It was her first day there, and it was traffic stops.
Did you know her before that day?
No. Other than her coming on and knowing who she was, not personally, no.
Did you know her
before she came to the
sheriff's office?
No.
Okay. And while she was at the sheriff's office up to today, I assume you never had a relationship with her?
No.
Okay. And
what do you mean, like a
personal relationship?
Like a boyfriend-girlfriend thing?
Yes.
No.
Okay. I didn't think so.
Work relationship.
For sure.
After training and all that, because she was put on my shift.
And then you weren't related to her?
No.
Okay. So this was her, as far as you're aware, this was her first night out in the field?
No, she had already been through phase 1. Phase 2 was
Okay.
traffic stop. So she'd been with another deputy through phase 1.
Okay.
I don't know what they did. I wasn't there.
Fair enough. This was her first traffic stop.
Right.
Okay. Had you had a traffic stop that evening?
I don't remember. I don't think with her. And I know for a fact with her, no, because that was the first one that was going to be conducted, and I was going to show her how to conduct a traffic stop, and that's how I wanted her to conduct it. And she would have took over then my driving seat and done her own traffic stops
After she saw you?
Conduct the first traffic stop.
Okay. Is she still with Columbia County Sheriff's Office as far as you're
I believe so.
The same policy Harvey violated by not using his PA system also required him to wait for adequate assistance before approaching a non-compliant vehicle. Harvey's answer was that he had assistance, the deputy with him, but that deputy was on her first traffic stop. She was a student. Harvey had been assigned to show her how it was done. Using a trainee as the legal justification for foregoing the assistance requirement is not a small thing. It is the kind of answer that sounds reasonable until you read the policy it's supposed to satisfy.
On October 24, 2020, did you make any assumptions or judgments about Martinez Bowman based upon the color of his skin?
No.
Okay. Going down to, again, page 2, paragraph 4, nothing in this order shall prohibit a deputy from choosing to exercise enforcement discretion by issuing a verbal warning or accepting a driver's reasonable explanation for a non-criminal traffic violation. What does that mean?
That it's your choice to issue a traffic citation or just give a verbal warning on something.
And would that be so for a taillight infraction?
You could, yes.
Okay. Did you have a personal policy about, and I understand this exceeded at a point, a simple taillight pullover, right? Mm-hmm. Did you have a policy related to, or a pattern in practice related to what you would do in a similar instance where there was a taillight out and you wanted to stop somebody?
I don't make my own policies,
Okay.
personal policies or anything. As I mentioned before, the only reason for that traffic stop was to show the deputy in training how to conduct a traffic stop. This was a merely out taillight, so therefore subject comes to a complete stop. I get out, conduct traffic stop. Hey man, your lights aren't out. I mean your lights aren't on. Fix them, and probably would have been just a verbal warning, so I could show her how to conduct a traffic stop.
Okay. Going to page 3. There's a section called Contact with the Violator. Deputies should be mindful of the following considerations. What's number 3?
Where's that at?
F3.
Deputies shall greet violators with appropriate title in a courteous manner.
Why is that important?
Because when you make contact with a violator on a normal traffic stop, you want to be courteous to not have a bad demeanor towards the person, or the person take that bad demeanor and send it back to you.
Is that what happened here with Martinez Bowman?
That was a totally different situation.
Did you treat him with a courteous manner?
Conducting a felony traffic stop, I had to give him orders to gain control of that situation. So I don't know if you could say courteous, but he was given clear commands to do what I was ordering to do.
And I believe he was asking you a question 7 or 8 times. Did you answer his questions?
What was the question?
Are you going to shoot him?
This is the exchange the whole video has been building toward. A man asked not to be shot 7 or 8 times, an officer who, by his own admission, had no intention of shooting him, and a conversation that never happened. Listen to how Harvey explains why.
I can't, if he would have brung a weapon out of that vehicle or a gun at me, I would have had to. To protect myself, so I can't tell him no. I don't know what he's got or what he's doing.
Did you explain that to him, that if you show force at me, I can shoot you?
I didn't know. There wasn't the time and the interaction that was going on from him coming at me, giving him orders, trying to gain control of the situation. That wasn't an option. I couldn't get that out.
Okay. What's number 5?
Same.
Yes.
Letter. During conversation and observation of the violator, the deputy shall check for signs of physical impairment, emotional distress, and alcohol or drug abuse.
Did Mr. Bowman appear to be in emotional distress that evening?
Emotional distress?
Yes.
After the stop was conducted?
After he got out of his car.
He didn't look. I wouldn't say he was in emotional distress.
Is fearing for your life or expressing that you don't want to be shot a vocalization of emotional distress?
Yes, I guess that probably could be.
Okay. Why is it important to take, during conversations and observations with a violator, why is it important to check for signs for emotional distress?
Because in different scenarios, different situations, you can de-escalate that situation.
What did you do to try to de-escalate this situation?
Give the subject verbal. I tried to gain control of the situation first. That's what you have to control. You have to gain control so that subject, if I give him orders, he's complying with orders, then I can start talking at a lower down, more sensible, I guess, tone that everything's going to be all right. This subject didn't allow that. This subject was high. It was high on the scale of irate, and it wasn't. He wouldn't let me gain control of the situation to begin with. So I wasn't able to even start a de-escalate.
Did he curse at you?
I don't remember.
He didn't curse at Harvey. He didn't call him names. He didn't threaten him. Harvey confirmed all 3 under oath. The threat Harvey describes is entirely hypothetical. A man going back toward his car might have had a gun, might have been reaching for something, might have. The fear Bowman expressed was not hypothetical. It was audible, on camera, 7 or 8 times, and it was met with silence.
Did he call you any names?
No, I don't think he...
Did he threaten you?
No.
Did he...
Was his actions threatening? Yes.
How so?
Going back into a vehicle, not complying with lawful orders. I don't know if that subject's going back into that car to grab a gun to kill me with, to shoot his way out of the situation that he's in. I don't know. It's the unknown that a police officer has to make rational decisions at once.
Is it your testimony today that he got out of his car and got back in?
He did get out of the car. He didn't get back in the car. He went back in it with hands and the top of his body. Yes, he did do that.
How many times?
I can't remember how many times he did that.
Okay. Did Martinez Bowman obey your command to get out of his car?
He first did not obey those commands. It took order after order before he finally stepped out of that car. And then when he did step out of the car, he wouldn't comply with what I was telling him to do. He wouldn't. The procedure on a felony traffic stop, when you're conducting a felony traffic stop, it's priority for the safety of the officers and the subject that you're dealing with. You don't want to have to hurt the individual that you're dealing with. And so the orders given to him is the same orders we are trained on every felony traffic stop or whatever the case may be in that particular. And after he finally did get out of the car, so then the orders of turn around, face away from me. He didn't want to face away from me. He was wanting to step towards me. Hands. We have to keep our hands. You have to keep that subject's hands away from their waist. You can't see up under that shirt. It is common practice for an individual to carry a gun in his waistband. It's common. It's in a police officer's world. You have to be thinking ahead at all times. I want to go back home to my family, just like that individual wants to go back home to theirs. So I'm going to try to do this in the safest way and controlled way that can be done. He kept wanting to, as you can hear in the video, I'm telling him to turn around and face away. He didn't want to turn around and face away. He kept his hands down. He wouldn't bring them up. He'd bring them up sometimes, then he'd put them back down. So we have no idea. I have to make sure that those hands are not going for something quick. To pull out, it may not be a gun, it could be a knife. He switch it out and then run at us. Anything could have happened.
Okay.
Did it happen? No, but it could have.
You've repeatedly used the term want. Mr. Martinez wanted. You don't know what he wanted to do you?
Object to the form.
Wanted?
Do you know what Mr. Bowman was thinking during any of this time?
Oh, I can't read somebody's mind.
Fair enough.
They can't read mine.
Fair enough. But you do know what Mr. Bowman was saying, right? You heard him at all times, right?
The shoot me thing? Is that what you're saying? Or to come get me?
No.
Or
At any point you could hear him, right?
yes.
How far away was he?
I guess if let's say, I'm just going to take a guess of 6 yards away.
So approximately 9 feet?
No.
18 feet? 6 times 3?
Let's be safe at 20, maybe 20 feet.
Okay.
That's estimation. I didn't count it out.
Okay. 6 yards to 20 feet.
From the front of my vehicle now, he was, let's say 20 feet from the front of my vehicle, and then me being behind the door of my vehicle, which is back further.
Okay. So 2 car lengths, maybe a little bit more.
I'd probably say about 3 car lengths.
But you could hear him.
Yes, I could.
Okay. And he was repeatedly asking for you not to shoot him and to tell him you're not going to shoot him. Is that fair?
Object to the form.
I don't know if he was telling me not to shoot him. I remember him telling me, asking me, was I going to shoot me? You going to shoot me? That's what I
Did you have an intention to shoot him?
Absolutely not.
Why didn't you tell him that?
I didn't get to that. To de-escalate any situation, you have to gain control of the situation first. He wouldn't let me control the situation. All he had to do was comply with what I was telling him to, and go with comply with my orders, and we wouldn't be here right now.
Do you think if you had answered his questions, we wouldn't be here right now?
No.
If you had said, no, sir, I'm not going to shoot you, just want to talk to you about your taillight, you don't think that would have changed anything?
No, because I don't know. He never would let me see if he had a weapon. I didn't know what was in that vehicle. If he would have come back out with a weapon, he would have got shot, because I have to defend myself and the deputy with me. So I can't tell him that, no, I'm not going to shoot you. I'm not, if that situation doesn't arise. I'm not going to do that. That's not what my intentions are. I've never shot anybody before in 17 years in the law enforcement profession, and would have hoped that I never would.
Fair. Going down to G3C, bottom of page 3. The deputy should be thoroughly familiar with the area and anticipate the appropriate location to stop the violator. Were you familiar with that roadway?
Object to the form.
I've been in that area before. I mean, knowing exactly where everything is on that road is not even. You're putting so many zones, which is not that. I've worked that zone before. I'm familiar with that roadway, where it goes and stuff like that. But being familiar with every little thing there, no, I'm not familiar with everything there. I guess that's the answer for that.
Okay. Consideration shall be given to a location with ample space and appropriate lighting. What does that mean?
Appropriate, ample space to stop, probably. Appropriate lighting, lit area, I'm guessing.
Okay. Did you do that here?
When the stop was first initiated, there was ample lighting. The subject decided to go ahead and turn off and go down. We have overhead spotlights. We have a spotlight plus your headlights, and it lights up everything. Therefore, if we would have stopped on the road that we stopped on, which there was no traffic on that road, and that road is not heavily occupied by vehicles, he could have stopped in the middle of that road like people do every day.
That road is dark.
Object to the form. What road are we talking about?
Certainly. What road are we talking about?
What is it, 441 that we began on?
Right?
That road is completely lit up. There's a store right next to us. You probably don't even have to have headlights on to go down that road.
For 441, he was already turning by the time.
He was in the turning lane.
Right.
He wasn't turning when I blue lighted him.
Okay.
And that's why I went ahead and blue lighted him when I did, so he wouldn't turn. He'd stay there.
Did you turn on your sirens before he turned?
No.
Okay. Do you know when he first saw you?
No, I don't.
Then the next road is what, Gerwin? What's the name of the second road you were on?
I don't know.
Gerson? Gerson. No, that's reached Gerson, 302 Gerson Street. Just south of Gerson. I was at the intersection of Pine Grove Church and US 441. I pulled in behind the vehicle just south of Gerson. The vehicle pulled into Gerson. That's what the report says.
Yes.
Are you familiar with the road you pulled on was Gerson? Gerson?
Yes.
Okay.
I believe so.
How many lights are on Gerson?
I don't think there is any on that roadway.
And is there a shoulder or a median on Gerson?
No.
Okay. Are there private drives on Gersons?
I believe so, yes.
Are there hills?
No.
Curves?
At the end of Gerson, there is curves.
You're instructed every effort should be made to avoid stops on hills, curves, intersection, private drives, business locations, and businesses which have limited parking. Bridges which have limited parking.
Is that what that says?
I'm just asking if that's part of your instructions.
If that's what the policy says.
Okay.
Where do you see that at?
It's 3C. It's the next sentence.
That's what it says.
Okay.
Every violation Harvey acknowledges here has the same structure. Phillips reads the written standard. Harvey confirms he understands it. Harvey confirms he didn't follow it. Then Harvey offers a practical explanation for why his judgment superseded the written requirement. The blue lights would warn other drivers. He was yelling loud enough. He already had a deputy with him. Each explanation, taken alone, sounds reasonable. Taken together, they describe an officer who consistently substituted personal judgment for written policy across nearly every dimension of this stop, and who was never once asked to account for that substitution.
But there was no curves there or intersections, no businesses, bridges. Parking was limited.
I think we could argue that there about ample space and lighting, right?
Ample space to stop?
Yeah.
He had ample space to stop.
Would there be ample space without blocking the roadway?
We would have blocked the roadway, but that's why we have the blue lights for if vehicles did come down there, which none did because it's not heavily traffic or heavily drove.
Going to the next 4, letter J, it talks about using the public address system. Did your vehicle have a public address system?
Well, I don't know. What is that?
The intercom?
Oh, a PA system?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. It does have one of those.
So did you know that PA stood for public address?
No, I didn't know it stood for public address.
Okay. Did your vehicle have a PA system?
Yes, it did.
And did you attempt to use that at any point?
No.
Why not?
I didn't even have time to.
You didn't have time when you were driving down the road?
Yes, but we were waiting on him to stop, but I didn't even think about grabbing a PA to holler on a PA. If he is inside that vehicle, I don't know if he could even heard it.
Going to K, the deputy in command, was that you of this incident?
Yes, I initiated it.
Shall direct each occupant utilizing the public address system to exit the vehicle individually according to specific directions and into the appropriate search positions, after which the approach may be made. Did you violate letter K?
I did not use that because when I got out, I made sure that I was yelling loud enough that he or anyone that was in that vicinity could hear everything I was telling him. And the reason for that, if there's neighbors in that area, you want them to hear what you're saying, and therefore I was hollering loud enough to that he could hear everything I was saying.
What does the word shall mean to you?
Shall?
Yeah.
Shall.
As in
Means, huh?
the duty and command shall. What does shall mean?
Shall would mean to use, to do something.
And it says to direct each occupant utilizing the public address system to exit the vehicle, correct?
Yep. Yeah.
And you did not do that?
No, I didn't.
Okay. And it also says then you can direct each person into an appropriate search position. You didn't do that either via the PA or public address system?
No, I didn't do it through the PA, no.
Okay. But your PA address system was available?
Yes.
Functional, okay. Okay, let's go to K1. It talks about a situation, I'm referring to sentence 2. If they, I'll read the first line. If a public address system is not available, which we agree wasn't the case here, it was available, right?
Yes.
The deputy in command shall give voice commands. If they are not heard or are ignored by the suspect, the deputy shall wait for assistance prior to approaching the vehicle. Did you wait for assistance?
I already had assistance. The deputy that was with me is the assistance I had.
Who was on her very first stop?
She's already a deputy. She'd already been through phase 1.
The policy does not distinguish between a fully experienced deputy and a trainee on her first traffic stop. It says wait for assistance, but the standard Phillips is applying is the spirit of the requirement, which is to ensure that a non-compliant vehicle stop is handled with adequate backup before an officer escalates. Harvey had a student. He escalated anyway.
She should already be probably done felony stops on phase 1. I mean, fully, it don't say that you have to wait for a fully out of FTO deputy for assistance.
You're right, it doesn't say that.
And they're also trained felony stops in the academy before they ever come out of the academy.
Okay. Going to L, the support deputy shall cover the arresting deputy until all occupants have exited in the search position. I think that's, in fact, she pointed her firearm at Bowman.
Yes.
Did you instruct her to do that?
Cover me. That's what cover me means.
The occupant should be ordered into a prone position face down. Did you order Bowman onto the ground?
Well, it's there's steps to go by. There's get him out of the vehicle, give him the basic first orders, and he didn't even comply with the basic first orders I was giving. I couldn't give him to get on the ground. I was giving him the first orders I gave him, and he didn't even comply with those.
Okay. When did you realize there were other people in the car?
I could hear them yelling at him inside the vehicle to do what I was saying.
So, were you not worried about them shooting you from inside the car, just Bowman?
That's why the assisting deputy has a firearm out also.
Okay.
For anyone on that traffic stop.
Did anybody give them commands to get out of the car?
We had to get the first one out first.
Okay. But going into this hypothetical situation where Bowman would have gone to his driver's seat to grab a gun, there were 2 other unknown occupants in the back seat of that car.
Yes.
Okay. Go to page 9. What are emergency vehicle operations?
Just using when you go into emergency vehicle operation, it's turning on your lights, sirens.
Okay. So at the time that you turned on your lights and sirens behind Mr. Bowman, you were in an emergency vehicle operation?
If that's what that's considered, turning lights on you have to turn lights on and sirens to get somebody to stop. You don't necessarily have to turn siren on, but you have to turn the lights on to get somebody to stop. So I guess it would defined by this as a emergency operation.
Then what's rule 4, and I'll refer you to page 10, when a vehicle is in emergency vehicle operation?
Sheriff's vehicles shall not be parked in roadways or traffic lanes except when necessary to protect crash scenes or injured persons. You want me to read the whole thing?
Yes, please.
Use of sheriff's vehicles to protect crash scenes and injured persons.
No, I'm sorry. Just 4, but you kind of read it under your breath. Could you
Sheriff's vehicles shall not be parked in roadways or traffic lanes except when necessary to protect crash scenes or injured persons.
Gerson was a roadway.
Yep.
And a traffic lane.
Yes.
So your rules say you're not supposed to park there when in emergency vehicle operation. Fair?
Object to the form.
What's the objection?
I'm looking at the policy, and you're taking that out of context of the policy.
That's fair. What's your understanding of Rule 4 there, when it's applicable?
I don't think that, I don't feel like that's during a traffic stop. I think you just parking in your, just stop your vehicle in the middle of the road with lights on and just park there. Say you responded to say there was a murder scene and there was only parking in the roadway, they don't want you to park in that roadway.
It says
if it wasn't necessary.
You're not supposed to park in roadways or traffic lanes except when necessary to protect crash scenes and injured persons, correct?
Right.
Was this a crash scene?
Nope.
Was anybody injured that you were aware of?
Not that I'm aware of. I don't know if they were or not
Okay.
at the time.
We'll attach that as Plaintiff's Exhibit 1. The next one I'm going to present to you is General Order for Canine Teams.
Oh, I've got
You
it.
got it? Two of these, let's see.
That's 47.3 up in the top right-hand corner.
47.3, that's
All right,
correct.
got it.
Referring to page 1, qualifications for canine handlers. What's category F? What's in F?
What page are you on?
Page 1, E to F.
Okay.
Mr. Harvey.
Just the F.
Yes.
Candidates must be known to have a mature, patient, decisive, self-controlled, good-natured, and disciplined personality.
Now, is that for the dog or for the person?
I believe that it says qualification for selection of canine handlers.
So that's the person.
Yes.
What's J?
The deputy have the ability to physically and vocally control a canine's actions,
What does that mean?
meaning when the canine is trained, you can control the canine and he listens to what you say.
I think you said earlier you got to a point with this canine that he didn't even have to have a command. He knew what you wanted. Is that fair?
Check to the form.
He would do, if I got him out in a scenario that he knew what was going on, all I had to do was let him go for him to make the apprehension.
And did you trust Drago to make the right decisions based upon his training?
Yes.
Okay, even without commands.
Object.
It wasn't, letting the dog in where I know that I have, or where it reaches the point where I have to allow the dog to make an apprehension and I release the dog for the apprehension, yes, I trusted that he was going to make the apprehension.
I guess what I'm saying is you had a relationship with Drago that you didn't always depend on vocal controls.
Object to the
Do what now?
form.
Referring to J, it says the deputy must have the ability to physically and vocally control a canine's actions. I think you're talking about, I think you said earlier related to particularly apprehension that you didn't have to give the word, what's the German word? What's the word for apprehension?
Packen?
Packen. You got to a point that you didn't feel like you needed to give the word Packen for Drago to go apprehend.
Object to the form.
He, at that time, I didn't have to because he went and apprehended like I wanted him to.
Okay.
So I didn't have to tell him Packen. Over the dog went in training. This is 4 years later. After training, over a period of time, the dog will, you can, like I've said over and over again, this was a scenario done before. When I let go of the dog, I didn't have to tell him Packen. He went and done what I wanted him to do.
Did Drago ever make a mistake?
Now we get to Drago's history, and this is where the picture of how this canine unit operated starts to come into focus in a different way. Harvey is about to describe 2 documented incidents where Drago bit someone he wasn't supposed to bit. Both times it was the same deputy. Both times Drago acted on his own interpretation of the situation rather than on an explicit command. And then there's a third incident, one that was never reported.
Did he ever bite somebody he shouldn't have?
Yes, he did.
How often?
There was two incidents over the 4 years, if I ain't mistaken.
Tell me about those.
The first one was during a deployment with a deputy who, when we deployed, the deputies run ahead of me and the dog. So therefore, when the dog deployed, he thought that was the suspect. And because the color of clothing, it could be, but the dog, we was running. You're not supposed to get in front of me and the dog. Me and the dog have to be the first ones to go. Well, that deputy, I guess not knowing, was in front of me, and the dog went thinking that he was the one running from us. So he went and grabbed him by the leg.
Okay. Did you give him the command Packen?
When we deployed out, I told him Packen to the suspect, yes.
And he just got the wrong suspect.
Yes, he got the guy running in front of him.
Okay. Who was that deputy? How do you spell his name?
Lortom.
Was there an incident report done to that?
Yes.
You sure of that?
Huh?
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. What was the other one?
Same deputy that we deployed to a gymnasium, and now all deputies know that you don't
Right.
be in the area of the dog while the dog's working. Well, that deputy didn't listen again. Entered the building of the gymnasium. Doors are along the gym, along the walls of the gym. The dog goes in. The dog starts checking doors. I walk out there into the middle of the gymnasium, and I'm watching. He's going around. He checks the doors. He goes around. Well, I didn't know the deputy walked in behind me and was going and checking doors also. You don't do that. And what the dog thinks is, I thought the dog was going over to continue checking the doors, and that's when the dog got there and met, and there a deputy stands, and he sniffs him and then bites him on the leg, because in those building clearing scenarios, the decoy will come out of the room, and then the dog will make a apprehension. So him walking down there checking doors and not supposed to be doing that, the dog ran over there and thought he was the decoy and bit him.
Both incidents share a common thread. Drago acted without a direct command. He read the environment, made a decision, and bit someone. Harvey describes these as training anomalies, but what they actually document is a pattern. A dog who, over 4 years, demonstrated repeatedly that he would initiate contact based on his own assessment of a situation. Harvey trusted that. He said so. He trusted Drago to make the right decisions. The written policy said he needed to maintain vocal control. Harvey's own description of their working relationship suggests that standard had long since been replaced by something else.
Was Drago under a POC-in command at that point?
No.
Okay. Going to page 10, number 13, apprehension of fleeing or resisting subjects. I'm assuming it is your opinion that at the time, Mr. Bowman was a resisting subject.
Object to the form.
Is that fair?
He was resisting.
Okay. He was not fleeing.
Object.
He had already fled in the vehicle.
Are you
That's
aware-
that's what counted as the felony stop, because the subject wouldn't stop the vehicle when lights and sirens was ordered.
Are you aware that that was reviewed by a Columbia County jury, the fleeing? Are you aware?
Reviewed?
Yes, that there was a jury trial on whether this was a fleeing. Do you know what that jury determined? They determined that this was not a fleeing, that he was not guilty.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, a jury, you can commit a crime and the jury finds you not guilty on it. The crime still could be committed. Look at Casey Anthony. Look at O.J. Simpson. A jury can find you not guilty on a crime, and you still committed the crime.
Okay.
That's your right to have a trial by jury.
So you do not defer to a jury as an officer of the law?
A Columbia County jury found Bowman not guilty on the fleeing charge, the legal foundation Harvey used to justify escalating a taillight stop into a felony traffic stop. Phillips asks Harvey whether a not guilty verdict matters to him. What Harvey says next is one of the more revealing moments in the entire deposition, not because it's extreme, but because it's casual.
Do you not defer
Officer
to
of the law?
a jury's verdict as an officer of the law?
Object to the form.
They're not sworn officers.
No, not that. You, as a former officer of the law, I'm referring to you, not them. Are you not taught to defer to the criminal justice system? Strike that. If somebody's adjudicated not guilty in a court of law, does that matter to you?
Object to the form.
It don't matter. It's what the jury ruled on. If they ruled him not guilty, then they ruled him not guilty.
Okay.
It's not. It doesn't. I don't know what. I don't know. What do you, that it doesn't matter to me.
Do you ever get
What if I got in trouble? I'd want, and I wasn't guilty of it, I'd want a jury of my peers, which is my right.
Of course, but it seems to me that you're not going to defer to the jury that this wasn't fleeing under the law. Am I correct?
Object to the
I
form.
had to have probable cause to make the arrest, and probable cause was there, so the arrest was made. Then it was up to a jury to decide. I wasn't even there, so at the trial, so I don't, this is what the jury decides. That has nothing to do with me.
Were you supposed to testify at his criminal trial?
I guess not. I wasn't there.
Okay.
They didn't subpoena me.
Okay.
It was my case. I don't know why I wasn't.
Did anybody have any conversations with you about why you weren't called to testify?
No.
His case, his stop, his dog. He was not called to testify at the criminal trial. No one explained why. He doesn't seem troubled by it. That absence from his own case is worth noting without overstating. Sometimes the most revealing thing in a legal record is not what's in it, but what's not.
Okay. 13B, sentence 2. The handler shall always consider the age, size, threat posed by a subject.
Where?
Sorry, page 10, number 13, B, sentence 2. The handler shall always consider the age, size, threat posed by a subject to a deputy or citizen and the safety of any civilians in the area. Why is that important?
What part of that is important? The size of the individual?
Yeah, I mean, that sentence, is that,
The age of the individual? I mean, you're not gonna, I would use some common sense. I wouldn't put I wouldn't have my dog apprehend 8-year-old that stole a piece of candy out of the Jiffy store if he ran from us. I mean, I don't feel like that would be the right thing to do. 8-year-old being a small juvenile or something.
how tall was Mr. Bowman?
I have no idea. He was a pretty tall guy. He's taller than me. I'm only 5'5". He was taller than me.
Okay. Do you know how old he was at the time?
No. I mean, he appeared to be an adult.
Okay. And you were in a residential neighborhood, or I think it was a trailer park?
Yes, sir.
The last sentence, if the subject refuses to come out of concealment or hiding, and again, Mr. Bowman wasn't in concealment or hiding, correct?
Where's your last sentence at?
Just that last sentence of 13B. If the subject refuses to come out of concealment or hiding, I just want to see if we agree that that's not applicable because he wasn't in concealment or hiding.
No, he wasn't in concealment or hiding.
Okay. You talked about not putting a dog on a 8-year-old who stole candy, who was running away.
I wouldn't say putting the dog on him. I'd say conducting an apprehension.
How would you treat that situation differently than this?
As an 8-year-old child, we would probably try to run him down, chase after him. I wouldn't put have my dog apprehend him. Small child, I mean, I have small kids. I wouldn't do that.
What does fleeing mean to you?
Refusing to stop, continuing to go.
Can fleeing be on foot as well as in car?
Yes.
Okay. Hold on, let me see that. In page 11, number 15 discusses post-bite guidelines. Do you know if those were followed in this instance?
From my part, starting whenever the canine bites any person, the following procedure shall be followed. The handler shall ensure that proper medical attention is immediately administered to anyone bitten, injured, their canine, and shall notify the canine supervisor and the on-duty patrol supervisor. Yes.
Okay, so you notified people. What medical care was immediately administered?
Ambulance was called to the scene for medical.
Okay.
This next exchange answers the question the dash cam footage raises most directly. How long was the dog on Bowman, and what was the standard for removing it?
How long was Drago essentially on Bowman's leg? Do you know?
The dog's not removed until the subject has handcuffs behind his back. After the subject was apprehended, I run straight to him. Tried to get his hands behind his back. He wouldn't put the hands behind his back. I finally got his hands forced behind his back and handcuffed him. When he was handcuffed, the dog was removed. So whatever, I don't know the time, but whatever, it's on video. You can hear the verbal stuff on video. So, I mean, we could look at the video and count how many seconds till he was released.
Did you put a tourniquet or any bandage on Mr. Bowman's leg?
No.
Why not?
He didn't have, it didn't appear to be an injury that was profusely spewing blood like a artery was torn or anything like that.
Could you see the bone?
I don't know about that.
Okay. Who was the watch commander on scene?
Sergeant Randy Harrison.
Did he examine Mr. Bowman's injuries?
I think so. I'm sure he did. I don't know what he did exactly.
Did he take color photographs of the injury?
I believe so.
Do you have a Facebook page?
Yes, I do. We doing this one?
We'll move that as Plaintiffs 3. Who is Chris David?
Shift deputy that was on shift with me.
So at the time, he was employed by Columbia County Sheriff's Office?
Yes.
Okay. Who is Matthew Montemuro?
Shift deputy that was on shift with me.
So at the time, he was employed by Columbia County Sheriff's Office?
Yeah.
Did either one of them respond to this scene?
Who was that?
Chris David or Matthew Montemuro?
Didn't. No, they didn't.
Montemurno.
Montemurno.
Stephen Kashigan, Khachigan. Who is that?
Ketchigan. He's the PIO for the agency.
And he was at the time of this?
Don't know.
Okay. Do you know if he responded to the scene?
I don't think he did.
And what is the PIO?
Public Information Officer.
And that's you?
That's my daughter.
Oh, well, I meant this is your Facebook page?
Yeah.
Okay. And we'll run through some postings and just kind of try to understand them. Attach these as a composite exhibit after. I presented you with a photo that's dated December 19, 2020. Do you recognize that photo?
Yes.
Who's in it?
Myself and Drago.
Okay. Did you post that on your Facebook page?
Yes.
Present something posted November 11, 2018. What is that?
It is a Canine with a blue line on it and says Canine unit.
Where did you obtain this?
I seen it on Facebook.
Okay, and so you just reposted it? What's the significance of the blue line with the skull?
Police dog.
Okay. Why the skull?
I don't know why they made it a skull.
Okay.
I thought it looked cool.
Okay. Another post, September 2, 2015. What is this?
This is a skull with a flag on the front, with a thin blue line flag on the front of it. It says, "Stop shooting at my brother's hers," meaning.
You can see the hers in a different color,
right,
just to set it off that it's both.
This is in 2015 when there was a high thing going on with officers being shot. I think it was like the highest at that time. And I seen it online, or I seen it on Facebook, and I shared it.
So at that point in 2015, officers were at kind of heightened alert for officer safety. Is that fair?
They were being shot at,
right,
or they were being shot. That's the whole "stop shooting at my brothers."
Right.
Meaning my.
And do you know how? Have you heard of George Floyd?
Yes.
And do you know how long before this incident happened that George Floyd passed away?
No,
And do you know the impact of incidents like George Floyd and other police-involved incidents related to African Americans, what impact that has on African American men?
What, the George Floyd thing?
Yes.
What kind of impact it would have on them?
Yes.
Well, I mean, it was all media. It was a big thing on the media.
Phillips is doing something deliberate here. He is not arguing that these posts are illegal. He is not saying they prove anything specific. What he is doing is asking Harvey systematically to explain how he saw himself as an officer and how he saw the people he policed. The posts themselves are the evidence. Harvey's explanations are the analysis. Watch how Harvey describes the biblical verse.
Okay. But do you know what impact that would have on African American men?
Object to the form.
No.
Referring to May 25, 2016 post. What is this one?
Romans 13:4, with a skull with a thin blue line through it. For he is the minister of God to thee for good. But if thou do that which is evil, be afraid, for beareth not the sword in vain. For he is the minister of God, a revenger to execute wrath upon him. What does that say at the bottom?
I don't know either.
This is a biblical verse. I'm a Christian. And
Okay.
I read the Bible.
Okay. Did the Bible's not illustrated, right? The one that God wrote, it doesn't have pictures, right?
No.
Okay. So the photo of the skull with the blue line, that was not biblical. Is that fair?
Yeah. I didn't make this.
Okay. What drew you to this Bible verse with the skull to post it?
To me, it's more or less saying that as my personal being called as a police officer, I feel like that was my calling. I was called by the Lord to be a police officer. The revenger to execute wrath upon him, that's not, that don't mean me executing wrath. That's the court system, and it ain't wrath. It's a court system that an individual has to go through. But I mean, it's no different than in the Bible. It says if your left hand sins, cut off your right hand. We're not cutting off our right hand. It doesn't. It's not literally what it says.
Okay. So you're not sending this message out to suspects that they should be afraid if they do wrong because you're the minister of God as a law enforcement officer and you're a revenger to execute wrath.
Object to the form.
I don't think I have any suspects on my Facebook page.
Fair enough. Photo from June 14, 2016. What is this one?
Looks like a SWAT operator with a thin blue line bandana on his face. They hate the sheepdog until the wolf is at their doorstep.
What does that mean?
A police officer is labeled as the sheepdog in the law enforcement realm until the wolf is at their doorstep. What that's saying is, like, there's people that hate the police. That's not no secret. It's media wide. People hate the police and don't want anything to do with the police until somebody has committed a crime against them. Then they want to call the police. They hate the sheepdog until the wolf is at their doorsteps. And meaning when that crime is committed against them, then they call for the police.
Okay. Was Bowman the sheepdog or the wolf?
Object to the form.
Bowman was a suspect.
Fair enough.
This last post is the one Phillips closes the Facebook section with, and the final question he asks about it is probably the sharpest single question in the entire deposition.
Sometimes Facebook doesn't put the date because it just tells you how many days ago it was. So we'd have to go look at the data. But do you recall this photo?
I remember when this was, because we go to Camp Blandon once a year in February. So I don't know the exact date, but we go to Camp Blandon once a year for 3-day training with Alachua Sheriff's Office.
Okay. Who's Matthew Waddington?
He was another canine handler with me.
A man asked not to be shot 7 or 8 times, an officer who, by his own admission, had no intention of shooting him, and a conversation that never happened. 3 years later, under oath, Harvey's settled and unguarded description of him is suspect, not a citizen, not a person who was frightened, a suspect. That word choice, unprompted, unremarkable to Harvey, is the clearest window in the entire 4 hours into how Harvey understood his role and the people within it.
Who was Chris David again?
The guy that works, or another deputy that works with me.
Let me borrow that. It's my copy too. And I guess that's memorializing that first page when Drago passed away.
Yes.
Okay. The next 2 pages, and I'll give it back to you. There's an exchange of messages related to that post. Here, I'll let you review those. Let me see it again, please. Who was Rebecca Miller? Do you know?
Who?
Rebecca Miller, the first person?
I have no idea.
Okay. And then, is that your post?
Mm-hmm.
Which one are you referring
The
to?
midway through on page 2.
Where it says David Harvey?
What did you say?
It says, remember Drago was fresh from the kennel and we thought our new corporal was going to make a huge deal about it and we might have to do a report. Laugh emojis.
Okay. Is that referring to the incident you told me about?
No, this is when I first got out of, I forgot about that actually. This is the first, when I first got Drago, and the doing the report thing was joking. That's why the laugh emojis are there. But I had the dog out on a lead. It was the bonding period that I explained to you earlier, and the associating with the other deputies. Well, the dog was just moving around, and this was before training. So he has no training whatsoever, and neither do I. It's just the bonding period. Me and the deputy was standing side by side, and we were talking and laughing. And the deputy, I believe the deputy is, if you're conversating with your buddy, ha 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 ha, and hit me on the shoulder, the dog seen that, and the dog run up to him and started sniffing him and sniffed him up and nipped him on his arm. By the time I grabbed him, he had nipped him on the arm. And the doing the report thing was joking because Blaine Cruz was a deputy together with us before he got promoted to corporal, and Deputy Cruz was there. So it wasn't nothing that should have been reported. You probably could have reported it if he wanted to, but I don't think it was nothing to be reporting.
The protocol requires a bite to be reported.
Well, we didn't consider, when we consider it, I guess to you a nip and a bite would be the same thing, right?
What's the difference?
A bite is grabbing a hold and causing an injury. This is the way I looked at it. But he nipped him when I grabbed him. The supervisor was there.
Okay. Who was the new corporal?
That's the Blaine Cruz.
Blaine Cruz. And Blaine jokes back that the victim didn't want a report filed.
Right.
Okay. So this incident with Chris David was not reported?
And it was reported to the corporal.
Okay, who was there? Okay. And then I think you made a joke at the end on the page 3. He was mouth hugging you?
Mm-hmm.
That's a joke?
Yes, it was
Okay.
a joke.
Okay. Attach that as composite. January 15th post. Would you read that and explain that one to me, please?
7 days out of this patrol car for some mind recalibration got me motivated to do some hood rat things with my hood rat friends. Chris, let's get it, dude. Have you ever seen, maybe you haven't, there's a YouTube video with a kid who steals his grandma's or mom's car, and it's a viral video, and the news media asked him why he does it, and he said, because I wanted to do some hood rat things with my hood rat friends. So I was quoting what that had said.
It's an African-American kid, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Phillips doesn't press it. He doesn't need to. The observation stands on its own. 2.5 hours of formal testimony, and not once did the language Harvey uses casually on social media appear. That gap between the public professional and the private person is not a legal argument, but it is a question worth sitting with.
What did you mean, even quoting a viral video, what did you mean that you were in this statement?
Let's go get with me and my friend, which is the deputy. Mm-hmm. Let's go do some proactive.
What is proactive police work?
Meaning you're driving around in neighborhoods and proactive crimes of occurring, doing traffic stops, middle of the night, just doing preventative activities, proactive.
So
being proactive.
Why would that be compared to hood rat things with your hood rat friends?
Object to the form.
Because that was a quote from somebody else that I thought was a funny quote.
Okay. But you admitted that kid in the video was in the process, or it was talking about crime, right?
His was talking about crime. Mine was talking about preventing crime.
Okay. What's the significance of the YouTube video that was attached?
That's I listen to rap music, and that's a song by Kevin Gates that I like.
What's it called?
Big Gangster.
Okay.
It says it on the poster.
Going to the next page, who is Adam Dees, Deas?
He's a friend I grew up with that lives in... is this what you're referring to as the joking thing?
I think we discussed one of the joking things already. I think we discussed the joking thing and that other one about the bite.
Oh, okay.
I believe this is, maybe it's not. You say on D's streets in my patrol car.
Yes.
Are you familiar with what urban slang is, or ebonics, or things like that?
Ebonics?
Yeah. Street language.
I assume.
Here's what I'm trying to understand. Let me just boil it down. I've deposed you for about an hour and a half. No, 2.5 hours. And I haven't heard you use slang like D streets. So what I'm trying to understand is why on Facebook do you use words like hood rat friends and D streets and not in regular conversation?
Object to the form.
Well, is it illegal to use any language I want to use?
Absolutely not.
So I can use any language I want to. I don't see a significance of quoting a YouTube term or a YouTube statement or using these words. Are they specified to one person?
For Drago, there was no verbal command to release or apprehend. You just let go of his of his collar or his leash?
That's what I did. When I gave the subject the last warning to comply and he didn't, I let go of the either the collar or the leash, and the dog went straight to him.
Okay. Was there any, and there was no order to stop the apprehension?
No, I would have told him Drago Foos back to me if I didn't want him to make the apprehension.
Did you tell him Foos at the end? How did Drago come to stop?
When I got him handcuffed, I'll grab Drago by the collar, and Drago knows that everything's repetitive with a dog. Once you've done something so many times, say on the decoy, apprehension or bite, whatever you want to call it, during training, when you grab that dog, he will let go of it.
Okay. When you said K99999, you were saying N-I-N-E, not N-E-I-N. Does that make sense? So, are you aware of how the 9 command is spelled?
No.
Okay. What did you mean when you yelled 99999?
I put K9 in front of that, meaning I'd already said Sheriff's Office K9, Sheriff's Office K9, and when I released it, K99, he's coming, telling the subject that he's coming to you, is just in the same instance of a taser. It's what come to my mind whenever I released the dog, and it just ran on. The dog didn't run on. I in my mind, what I was speaking just ran on. My words.
And there it is again, the same standard Harvey described earlier, confirmed a second time. The dog does not come off when the threat ends. The dog comes off when the administrative task of securing the arrest is complete. Under the Fourth Amendment's prohibition on unreasonable seizure, the force applied to a person during an arrest must be proportional to the threat present at the time it's applied, not the threat that might have been present earlier, and not the convenience of having the dog maintain control while the officer catches up. Harvey describes the second standard as if it's the first. He has apparently never been asked to explain the difference.
How did you respond to Bowman's pleas for help or to get the dog off of him?
Put your hands behind your back. I can't remember the exact words, but the dog's not going to be released until you put your hands behind your back, and I know that you can't reach for anything if you have something on you. That's the purpose of the apprehension. The dog has made the apprehension. Therefore, when I get there, which I ran straight up there after the dog took him to the ground, I ran straight up there and had to force his hands behind his back. Once the hands were forced behind his back, and I removed the dog from him.
Did you ever attempt to instruct Bowman to walk towards the other deputy?
I don't remember that.
Okay. Did you ask Bowman if he had a weapon at any point?
I don't remember that either.
Are you aware of any other nips or mouth hugs that Drago did that wasn't reported?
Check to the floor.
A mouth hug is, the Drago would do that to me. Mouth hug. That means he's playing and he's just, he's not biting. He's just, I don't know if you have dogs or whatever, but when dogs play, they're not biting you, but they're putting their full mouth around you.
Fair enough.
What a mouth hug is.
And that's different than a nip, right?
Yeah, I mean.
Okay. And maybe I just got lost in the joke, but let me just ask the question about nips. Are there any other nips or bites that you're aware of that weren't reported per policy?
No, not that I can remember. Okay.
What is tunnel vision?
I'd say it was, you get in a high stress situation and that's the only thing you're focusing on. Sometimes law enforcement officers can get into that tunnel vision and then you lose sight of what's going on around you other than what you're directly focused on at that time.
How did tunnel vision affect you on the night in question?
Check to the floor.
Just the totality of the whole circumstance was stressful. I mean, it was stressful on both ends with me and I'm sure him too. When you're in a situation like that, it's going to be stressful. It's not a calm, normal, common day conducting police work. You know, when you get into a situation that revolved around.
We've been provided with a chart or a spreadsheet. It's at Columbia Bowman 003289.
What is this?
That's what I'm asking. We were provided by y'all.
It's the deployment logs for Dragon.
Do you know what this is?
I think this is from our, from the system, the Canine deployment system thing that we use.
Okay. How is it that you enter data that goes into that spreadsheet?
Oh, I don't know how it goes into the
Okay,
spreadsheet.
fair.
I never even printed a spreadsheet out loud.
Have you ever seen that document before?
Uh-uh.
Okay. Let me just. Date, I understand, right?
Who?
Date, up at the top. Creator, I think I understand. Location, I think I understand. City, state, agency. The other blocks, and the last 4 blocks particularly, do you know what those are?
Object to the form.
I don't know what that number. I haven't seen this in so long that I don't know what. I think that might be use of force, maybe. It's use of something. I don't know if it's force or what it is.
Okay.
The C, I don't know. The hours, a lot of these entries are training entries for, that's how much time the dog was in training, and most of them are during shift. That's all I know.
Maybe that's what call is, that if they're, and we're just kind of speculating together, I realize, but maybe the C is call, because hers shows call, and hers say true or false. So I'm wondering if the falses are training exercises.
I can't remember how that thing goes. It's been a year and a half since I even looked at it.
How many bite apprehensions has Drago done with you as his handler?
Over a 4-year period, maybe bite itself. Now, because you can have a non-bite apprehension too, which is whoever you showed the force of the canine, that means they complied, so you didn't have to have a bite, but it's still considered as an apprehension because they complied with the showing of the force of the dog. But the physical apprehension itself, I don't remember all of them. I'm just going to give you a number. I think maybe over a 4-year period, maybe 6 or 7.
There was one I've seen where, and I want to see if it's Drago, where there was somebody running at or by an interstate. Do you remember that one? There was like somebody that walked.
I need a little bit more.
Okay.
I just need a little bit more information.
I think there was somebody running or walking on the interstate, and the dog was deployed
For a bite?
Yeah.
That happened, well, I don't remember when that happened, but the subject had fought. The Lake City PD made contact with that guy, and he tried to arrest him, and I was pulling up, and they began to fight, physically fight, and the guy got away from the Lake City PD officer and ran down the side of the interstate.
Okay. And then Drago was deployed and helped secure
Yes.
it? Okay. Do you know what commands were given in that incident?
I don't know.
Okay.
That's been so long ago.
Have you seen that we have body camera of that? We should look at that and look and see what the commands were there. Do we have this as a spreadsheet? Because I need to expand yeah. I'm gonna reserve, probably over objection, to question you about the spreadsheet when we have one that we can actually see what's the information, just so that I can actually see who and what, because do you know this document well enough that you can testify without seeing the full document?
No.
Okay,
And we would object to you reserving, calling him back for that.
fair enough. Stack. There was something on that document she wanted me to ask about. Do you remember? Yeah. Mine is longer than yours. Incident? Well, that's the problem. I can't read it. Do you remember an incident? Hold on. Let me find it on here. But mine's different. This is different. 32. I pick up at 3289. I think it's the trues we need to look for, because I think he might be right that, I'm talking to myself on the record, but that the falses are training exercises. 84?
Yep.
Yeah, that's why. But then I go 85, and then I skip 86, 87, 88. 86, 87, 88?
Me too.
All right, I think I know where you're going to answer this. But in this document, labeled Columbia Brown 003384, that we've been referring to, that first line,
Is that the same document you showed me?
it is. That first line that has true at the top, do you know, it says Tower Road in the something. Do you know, does that refresh your recollection?
Let me think of. I believe Tower, this is one, if this is the one that I'm thinking of, Tower Road is out in the forest, and that was probably a SWAT call out where a individual had shot at officers, and he ran into the forest and was down behind a tree. SWAT operators formed, moved forward into the with shields and everything, moved forward into the woods because you could see the subject out there because the palmettos were only so high, so you could see him over there. So all SWAT operators, I was the canine handler on that call. We moved into the woods, and I had a 50-foot lead. So we gave the subject multiple orders to surrender, come out. He never would. Therefore, we sent the dog for apprehension, and the dog apprehended the subject. He ended up being dead because he shot himself. But we weren't aware of that.
The other,
If that's the case.
right, that's the problem. The other true false I see happened at 302 Gerson Street on October 23rd. I think that's Mr.
Was that the
Bowman's.
day?
Yeah.
I'm sure.
I have that one. It's 3289 on bait stamp 3289. What I don't see, and I know this is almost unfair of you asking you about a form you don't know, but this is the best I got. I got to figure out
I
something.
mean, this is just entries.
Right.
And you see how many entries is in there. So I
Correct.
couldn't tell you what every entry
well, and
unless I remember.
I'm
what it
concerned.
was.
The ones I want to look at are the ones that are under use of force, what we think is use of force, and I don't see. I only see those two as true. What's your training related to doing use of force reports when it's canine use of force?
Everything that with the dog deploys is documented there, but you'll on a use of force you'll complete a whole the report. I don't think there's a second. Oh well, in that report system there is a use of force tab in that report system. So you would go into that use of force tab and document the entire use of force. And then I guess I don't know if it goes into the system or it goes into the report or what it does.
Okay.
But it's it's reported.
Do you know how many you've done? How many use of force reports you filled out related to canine Drago?
No, I don't know how many there were.
More than 10?
I have no
Check the
idea.
form.
Okay. I think we've at least identified 3, right? The Bowman incident, the interstate incident, and the forest incident. Mm-hmm. Is there any more that you specifically recall?
There was one I remember it was in the city, Lake City, and a guy had a domestic, and he was seen running behind the house. They called me for a search. As we conducted the area search, he was next to the door and a grill, and he had taken the grill cover and stuck it over him and squatted down, and the dog found him there. So, and that was an apprehension. But
Was physical contact with canine for that one?
he bit.
Okay,
Yeah, apprehension.
Okay. I didn't know if he could get to him through the grill cover. I didn't, yeah.
Well, his feet were hanging out at
Okay.
the bottom. He was squatted down. I mean, the grill cover didn't go all the way. And then when he felt the dog coming, he got out of that grill cover and tried to enter into the house.
Sounds like a cartoon. Any others you can think of?
No, that's the one that comes to mind, the ones we've already talked about.
Use of force reports, regardless of nature of force against you, or claims against you. That's my next subject header. I only know of the one that's the domestic relations. Is there any others?
Check to the form.
Any claims of rights have there been any others? Have there been any claims of civil rights violations or improper use of force against you as an officer?
Has there been any?
Yes.
I don't know if are you referring to the domestic violence thing with the guy?
I know about that one, so I'm not worried. Like that one.
That's the only one that I if that was a civil rights allegation, that's the only one that I could.
And that was my inarticulate question at this point,
That's the only
4 hours in.
If that is it, that's the only thing that I could think of that would be that.
Okay. The Alachua County Sheriff's Office Canine Unit Basic Team Training Course. I'm just going to hold up the cover. Do you recognize this?
I trained 6 years ago.
Okay.
I don't know if they give us that or not.
Okay. referencing bait stamps 005396. Are you aware of training that states canine handlers should exhaust all reasonable means to effect an arrest without incurring a dog bite?
Is that in the policy, or is that a policy?
I'm just asking you. That's what you were
I'd
trained.
have to read that. I haven't read that stuff in so long, I don't remember what all that is.
Do you know if it's the standard that you're supposed to use that canine handlers should exhaust all reasonable means to effect an arrest without incurring a dog bite?
Object to the form.
It sounds like common sense.
Okay, I'm almost done. Once you let go of the collar or the what'd you call it? That Drago might have been on that.
Traffic lead.
The lead. Once you let go of the collar or the lead, is there you have no further touch or control, physical touch or control of Drago, right? It's not like a long leash that you have. Okay.
Unless just like I told you, the guy who shot at law enforcement, he stayed out because it was 50 feet.
Okay.
I didn't want to I kept hold of him in case the guy tried to grab him or something, but he wasn't alive, so.
One final detail from the encounter itself that Harvey clarifies in the deposition. He had a taser. He didn't use it because he believed Bowman was too far away for the barbs to reach him, about 20 feet. He was behind the car door. He had lethal cover from the trainee. He had a taser that he believed might not reach. He had a PA system he didn't use. He had a stop command for his dog he also didn't use. What he did use was the dog, on a man stopped for a taillight who never threatened him.
At what point did Mr. Bowman surrender?
Surrender?
Yeah.
If you call surrendering as in became compliance when I got the handcuffs on him, finally.
Okay. And it was after that you pulled the
Yes,
dog
sir.
away? Okay. My kid found some good stuff. Or somebody found some good stuff in this binder. Amy, what other questions do you have? And I'm going to ask them, but short of going through the video. Have you heard officers in your unit, if I say the N-word, I'm referring to the word spelled Nigger, okay? Have you heard officers at Columbia County Sheriff's Office use that word to refer to anyone?
Object to the form.
Okay. Is there any information you can provide or that you're aware of about racism within Columbia County Sheriff's Office?
Object to the form, totally irrelevant to the case.
No.
Why were you policing that particular area on that day?
I believe that was my zone.
Okay.
And which would have been zone 1. I believe now, it's been so long ago, but I believe that was my zone, so we were patrolling through there.
Did you have your firearm or taser pointed at Mr. Bowman during this encounter?
Because it was less lethal, and she had lethal on him. That's what the red dot was, that he's talking about, the red dot.
How far would your taser fire?
I think it only reaches 25 feet, and that was the issue that I ran into. When you deploy a taser and a person sees that red dot, usually they're 99% of the time they don't want to be tased, so they become compliant. And it's just more. You hope that it's more of a show than you having to use it every time. But he was so far away, I didn't think that the barbs would reach him.
Okay. You were under lethal cover, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't you move forward to arrange within the taser?
Come out from behind cover where I was at and just go up there and no, because I wasn't putting myself in that position.
Okay.
I had a door covering me,
Okay.
so I wasn't coming out from behind that door, not knowing what could have been there, what he could have had.
Okay. And you also had an officer with lethal force pointed at
Yes.
you. Okay. Were you reprimanded, demoted, or terminated in any way related to this incident?
No.
When's the last time you saw Mr. Bowman?
The night of that.
Incident? Yeah. I
Yes.
didn't hear you finish the sentence. I just want to make sure the record
Oh,
is
yeah, the night of that incident.
fair enough. Anything else, Amy? I'm going to continue to reserve on the form that we don't have
And we'll continue to object.
fair. Other than that, thank you for your time and for your former service. I appreciate you.
No reprimand, no demotion, no termination. Harvey retired on his own timeline. He drives trucks now. The last time he saw Martinez Bowman was the night of the incident. The civil case, Martinez Bowman versus Mark Ond et al., filed in federal court, remains active as of the time this script was written. No settlement has been publicly announced. No criminal charges have been filed against Harvey. No public record of departmental discipline exists. What this deposition leaves you with is not a man who appears villainous or reckless or angry. It is something in some ways more difficult to process. A man who seems entirely unbothered, who answered every question honestly, acknowledged every deviation from policy without visible concern, and walked out of that room the same way he walked in, calm, cooperative, certain that what he did was right. The record says something different, and that record is now in federal court. If you have thoughts on this case, on the law, on the conduct, on what accountability should look like when the paperwork is clean but the outcome is not, the comments are open.